Hello, and today I am bringing you another book talk because I finished a book in 2015 already, and the book that I finished was Angelfall by Susan E., which is the first book in the Penguin and the End of Days trilogy, and this book is about 6 weeks after the angels from heaven have come back to Earth and have basically gone apocalyptic on us. So that's kind of the premise of the story. Penguin's sister is kidnapped at the beginning of the book, and the rest of the story is her trying to get her sister Paige back. So that's the storyline. That's the non-spoilery bit. So now we're going to kind of some more detailed bits. And I must say that I really enjoyed the characters in this book. There's not a lot of characters, it's not like it's got a huge cast of characters, but the characters that are in it I thought were really fun and developed well. Penguin was really interesting to read from the perspective of, because she just was a real spunky kid, I suppose. Spunky, intuitive, she really had upstairs sorted out, and she was really good with it. She wanted to get her sister back, and she had a rough idea of how she was going to do it when she spots Rafi. It's like Rafi in the book. It's meant to sound like raw feet, and I don't know how to pronounce it and make it sound like raw feet. So I just called him Raf because it's easier. And then it turns out he's Raphael the angel, and I was like, that was an easy connection to make. And he was really cool. He was kind of mysterious, and that was quite funny because the interaction between them was quite humorous at the beginning, even though it was a little bit like swoon. Penguin was a little bit swooning at how beautiful Raph is meant to be, because he's an angel, and she was like, ooh, look at that attractive guy, which, you know, she's allowed to do if she wants to. And the relationship wasn't forced, because throughout most of the book there's not like a direct mutual connection. It's not directly hinted at that there's a mutual connection between the two, because Raph is so distant. He's really distant from her for most of the book. He helps her, but only in the fact that she has tried to convince him that she'll be able to get the wings with him, and he'll be able to get the wings reattached, because at the beginning of the book he gets his wings cut off, and that was traumatic. Very traumatic scene to watch. Well, imagine, because this guy was just getting his wings cut off, and Penguin is just sitting there watching, which I found hilarious, because why would you just watch? Run, Penguin. But she didn't, and then Paige gets kidnapped, and the ending with Paige was traumatising. In fact, the whole ending was really shocking, because I did not expect that at all. It was traumatising in multiple ways, really. You had Paige becoming this weird creature thing that's like, and that was a bit like, oh my god, why? What has happened there? Why is she now like this? Raph getting his wings cut off again, kind of? Well, not really. He got them reattached to someone else. And then you had these weird bat wings, that's like demonic angel thing. And can you, what? I was just so sitting there, just shocked, because I didn't see it coming. And then I've seen the cover for World After, and it makes sense now, because the wings are meant to be bat-like, and they're on the cover of World After. And then Raph and Penguin fighting alongside each other, and then the sword rejecting Raph was just so heartbreaking, because he made a point earlier on how his sword hadn't rejected him, and then it did, and then Penguin's like, I can pick it up now, wee! And then she gets stabbed by the scorpion thing, which I'm really confused about. I have no idea what that is, really. Not a clue. No idea what they're meant to be, but they're there, being weird and really creepy, to be honest. And then it stabs her, and then he carries her to the people, and then the mum is like, oh my god, Penguin, and then he flies off, and I was just heartbroken, because it was really weird, because obviously Penguin wasn't dead, because the story was narrated from her point of view, so clearly she was still conscious, because she could still tell us what was going on, which I found really bizarre, because they were all like, oh my god, she's dead, and I'm like, well, clearly she's not dead, is she? Because we're still hearing her perspective. Very odd. Very weird, the ending. I really want to read World After because I want to see more Raph and Penryn, because those two have just such a good chemistry. It's a really unique chemistry in that I feel like it started off very light-hearted and it developed and developed, and I really enjoyed the development of this relationship between them, because there's hints towards Raph's past that are like, oh, he should know better than to be with a daughter of man. And I'm like, why? Tell me everything more. So that's going to hopefully be touched on in World After, maybe. I haven't read it, so I don't know. But I'm sure some people have, because it's been out for over a year almost. So we'll see. But I'm getting it soon, and I'm going to read it, and it's going to be fabulous. Moving on to the camp, because that's a key aspect of this book. The weird resistance-y camp thing with Obi and... oh, I don't know. I had a thing about camps, not Camp Half-Blood. That's a different camp altogether. But the camp reminds me a lot of Uglies, and there's the camp that's away from the societies, and they're trying to fight back, which I feel like this resistance was trying to do rather unsuccessfully, kind of. They weren't doing brilliantly until the end. And then the end, I don't know if I was really misreading it, or was very disappointed in the fact that Dum Dee, because there's the twins called Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and it's Dum and Dee in Penryn's perspective, and then one of them is in the Eyrie, and then it's kind of weird because it's a suicide mission, and then he doesn't die. So I don't know if I missed something, or this is the other twin, and the other one is dead, or they've not completed their mission or something, but that bit was just a bit hazy to me. Yeah, bit weird. The Eyrie was really quite cool, in the way that it made the angels seem like absolute twats, because they were just sitting there letting ladies in to be their escorts for the night, I suppose is the right word, or escorts for ever. And then you had the men serving them, and the angels have basically set up shop, and they've decided, yeah, we'll just enslave the human race because we can. So that was something that happened. Bit weird, but I let it slide. I kind of enjoyed that bit, even if it was really weird. It had underlying themes of prostitution and stuff, and I really enjoyed that, because I enjoy underlying themes. No, I don't enjoy prostitution, no. I enjoy the underlying themes, because it was very mature, and I felt in this kind of book, it was good to have these mature themes running through, because that's something that I think makes the book more appealing. So, good. Well done, Susan E. As if you needed my praise. It's an excellent book. You didn't need anyone else's. I mean, if you haven't read this book, and you haven't read Angel books, because I was very dubious, because Angel books are weird, in my opinion. I've always been a bit weird about them. But obviously the Mortal Instruments had them in, but now Angelfall, and I'm reading it, and I'm really enjoying it, so we'll see. I mean, Angel books are really cool. Now, kind of. This is just a very interesting take on it, I suppose. And I really enjoyed this take. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, but I'm thinking more 4.3, 4.4, not quite a 4.5 because I would have put it as a 5, but 4.4, 4.3. It was very good, but there was just a couple of weird bits that I'm a bit unsure on. Mainly the ending and how it all just went to shit really quickly. Which I loved it because it was action-packed, but then I was a bit like, what are these scorpion things? Because they don't make sense. What are they? What is this? What is going on at the end? And I just, I liked it, but I was very confused. That's a recurring theme in this book. I'm sitting there going, what is going on? But I'm still really enjoying it. That's a good thing. You just enjoy it. I mean, it's not like a series I'm going to be really, I'm really eager to get the next one and get End of Days, but I'm not going to be sitting there going, oh my god, I should reread this every day or forever. That's not going to happen, because it was good, but still not it's not my favourite, but it's still really good. But it's supposed to be my favourite, you basically have to be written by Rick Riordan, so sorry Susan E. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm trying to think of anything else that I've missed. I suppose the kind of another mature theme was the mum with schizophrenia, which I really liked because I love characters with mental health issues. As you can tell, there's Schizo there by Nick Sheff, great book. I really enjoy that kind of mental health, and I felt in this kind of not location, in this kind of fantasy world, it was really interesting to see the mental health still carrying through, because that's something I really want to see more of is that every, like, fantasy situations where something that in a normal situation being transplanted into it, because in most of these kind of books you don't get characters that are mentally ill or kind of like other characters that are not really disabled characters as well, and you just transplant them as across. And this one had both, because Paige is disabled and the mum is got schizophrenia. And I feel like transplanting into this fantasy world was really interesting because you kind of saw how they reacted to it. And then obviously Paige is fine mentally, but she's got very damaged legs. And she kind of reacted in the fact that she was very reliant on her sister because she couldn't walk, so she had a wheelchair and Penryn had to push her. And then at the end she stands up because of the weird experimentation thing, and that was really heartbreaking. So I was like, but you rely on Penryn for that. But now you don't have to because your weird mutanty thing. And I don't know what the mutanty things are. It's kind of creepy. And the mum is just mental because she's off her meds and she is just running around going, I don't know what's real and what's not real, which is just horrible to see. It was really horrible. But I really loved it still. Really loved that kind of thing. I really like bits where situations like that are transplanted into the real fantasy world. The real fantasy world? Sure. The fantasy world. So yes, Angelfall, good book. Recommend. And can we just quickly talk about this House of Life top I'm wearing? Way! House of Life, King Chronicles. Hashtag King Chronicles. What? Angelfall. Everyone should read it. Bye!